Assalamualaikum and good morning. Today I'm going to present my final year project, which the title is Users Behavior Observations by Data Analysis throughout the during gameplay of a Flora or plant species introduction in Taman Negara. So this is the content in my proposal slide, which consists of a research background, problem statement, research question, research objective, research scope, research significance, literature review, research methodology, Gantt chart, and research progress. So first of all, about the research background, the Taman is one of the national parks which is its first local ecotourist destination and rapidly recognized as well-known global destinations. The area of the Taman encloses the three states, which is Pahang, Kelantan, and Terengganu, and the total area is about 4,343 square kilometers approximately. So the project's ultimate aim or goal is to develop the game-based learning for users' exposure towards the knowledge of Flora species that can be found in Taman Negara. So the AI game mechanism will be implemented for this game to enhance the game to become more challenging and interesting to the users. The data analysis also will be conducted to observe how well the users engagement towards the game. The problem statement is that Taman currently promotes in many ways to the tourists, such as by social media, which is on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and by Taman official website on www.tamannegara.asia, and also by travel agencies and by paper-based materials such as brochures, books, and magazines. Despite as many alternative ways for promotion, is it still enough to engage more customers about Tanagar and attract more of them? So by develop a game-based learning, maybe it will be helpful to attract the attention from the customer and the user can learn something from the game, especially knowledge about Flora species. Besides, game-based learning is more effective way of learning process compared to traditional script-based method. So it will be a good opportunities for Taman to make a promotion while the world is now in COVID-19 pandemic. So the research questions for every research objective is first of all is what is the knowledge you should have to develop the game, the common AI mechanism for the game, and a suitable method to realize the user's engagement. Second is what type or kind of game will be developed and the important knowledge or information deliverable to the users or customers. So how to make the game more interesting, entertaining, and challenging to the users, thus affect the user's emotions. And lastly, how to observe the user's engagement towards the game. So the research objective is the first objective to identify the basic knowledge of game development, reinforcement learning, and data analysis for users' behavior observation towards the game. The second objective is to create web gaming apps to contain information about Taman Flora species. The third objective is to implement a game AI mechanism that involves reinforcement learning and specific battle events. My last objective is to create a data analytics element to observe how the users behave. The research scope cover up on the platform, the target user, technique, method of data collection, and constraint of the project. So the platforms, the software used for the game development will be an RPG Maker AV, a game creation software. So the game developed will be a web-based and is a game-based e-learning. So they develop a data analysis which extract the data from the user's gameplay and facial expressions using a convolutional neural network. Pie chart ID will be used. So the target user is the user who visits the website and playing the games. The technique for the project is reinforcement learning will be developed with enemies to make the game tougher for the user to get a score. The statistical data analysis and operational dashboard will be developed to show the user's engagement result, which consists of scores, skills, depth, and real-time fast emotion results during gameplay. So the concept of battle and quiz applied, which means the user need to defeat the enemies and answer the quiz successfully. So for game development, RPG Maker MV, a game creation software will be used, which is using JavaScript. The method of collecting data collection will be both for game development and users' behavior observation with data analysis. So the data collection of Flora species for the game development usage is by reviewing journal article and website. Meanwhile, the data collection for users' behavior observation is by extracting the data from the user's gameplay, result and real-time facial expression by convolutional neural network CNN. The constraint of the project is the time limitation. Development of a game is taking much time besides of reinforcement learning, implementation, and data analysis for users' engagement towards the game. So the research significance is that it is important for both sides, Taman, Negara, and the users. So with the game developed, the tourist intention will be changed despite Taman Negara already has many methods for promotions. Meanwhile, for the user will gain the knowledge about the flora species. The user also can observe how well she or he is engaged to the game. And for my literature review, the diagram shows that the domain knowledge technique and a previous study I depicted from many articles. Domain knowledge are related about games, and then artificial intelligence, and then educational serious game. And my technique for as a problem solving is reinforcement learning, convolutional neural network, CNN, game development, data analysis for users' behavior observation, and game-based e-learning. So for my related work, I just already collected 6 journal articles, the 6 chosen journal article techniques for, and this is the first 3 journal articles, and there is another one. So for my 5 journal articles for domain knowledge, and then for my research methodology, there are several phases which consist of preliminary study, knowledge acquisition, data collection, knowledge representations, game design, game and model development, and game and model testing and evaluation is a final phase. As for research framework, every objective has its own approaches. So for my first objective, there are 2 approaches, which is a preliminary study and knowledge acquisitions. So for next objective, which is which its approaches is data collection and knowledge representations. And for the third objective, which the approaches is system design, game development, and game testing and evaluation. So the last objective is the model development and model testing and evaluations. So the third objective and second objective has the same approaches, because I wanted to do 2 things, 2 objectives simultaneously, which involve in develop the game, and also at the same time want to develop the convolutional network CNN for facial expression detections. And then for my deliverables, I already designed the architecture of reinforcement learning, which consists of an agent, action, environment, and a reward. So this is how the reinforcement learning for my game. The enemies, agent is the enemies that refer to the king or villains. So this will react based on the environment. And then for my convolutional neural network CNN architecture, so it's used for facial expression detections. So this is the architecture of how the image processing of real-time facial expressions works. So my plan for convolutional network CNN will be developed using Python OpenCV. Meanwhile, reinforcement learning will be developed using JavaScript, which will be a plugin in my games. So next is the storyboard. So this is the storyboard of my game. So the game that I will develop will working as based on the storyboard. So this is how the user will play the game. So the game will be played based on the storyline. So at the same time, I already developed the game, which is just still a rough plane. It's the basic idea for me. It's not based on a storyboard yet. Again, and then we're going to show how the game is. So as you see here, it's a problem. this is my Gantt chart, which is the rough plane for every stage of the project. So next is research progress. So I already complete four tasks, which is preliminary study, knowledge acquisitions, data collection, and knowledge representations. So both preliminary study and knowledge acquisition is for objective one, while data collection and knowledge representation is for second objective, which edit, to implement reinforcement learning in my project. So every journal articles already been searched, been studied. So for in the progress, game design and game model development is still in progress, and my future tasks will be game and model testing and evaluations. So game design and game and model development will be two objectives, which is to third objective to develop the game, and my last objective is to develop to construct real-time facial expressions, and also to extract the data from the user's gameplay for analyzing. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching.